entrance to the room that's just by some curtain hangers, and just as you enter to the left is this massive bed. It's just a single bed that was in this room originally. There's no other space to put it and I don't use it, so it's just hung up here. And behind it there's some more boxes, poster and some bike wheels for my bikes that are in the other room. And as you go around, I've basically used the bed as a hanging station basically. It's just very useful and it covers it up. And up here there's some tote bags, and these are all full, organised in colour, like scrap paper. Most of it's shredded into pieces, and that I will use for paper making, and I'll probably make a video on that as well. And then here it's an old clothes organiser that my brother used to have. And up here is some stuffing that I bought years and years ago that I haven't used up still. Here I've got just thin scraps of material that I'm using to make this twine. Next one down is this box, and it's the bigger scraps but still quite small scraps of material. And here they're all organised in a rainbow order. Most of my stuff is anyway. And then the next one down is the bigger materials. So these are like the warm colours, and then below that are some blues and greens and purples. And then right underneath that I've got 4 boxes of IKEA. In front of this I've got like big box of threads and some wools that I've gotten from charity shops. Just a disclaimer, most of this stuff I've collected from charity shops. I've not bought it myself for the full price. So these are just lots of ribbons I've collected over the years. My boyfriend's family actually donated loads to me recently, which is amazing. So yeah, there's loads in here. So these are the ribbons. Underneath that, I've got all these lace, which I'm super excited to use. I've got so many project ideas for this. I'll probably be using these for upcycling some clothes, which I'll do videos on too. Underneath that is the art. So I've got any loose spare paints. These I've had for years. It's mostly gouache, anything else I've gotten rid of. Henna and some nail varnishes, because I don't use those, so I thought I'll put them in here. They might be useful for a painting project. And then the last box are some beads. Now I used to have loads of beads, but I don't do anything with them, so I've kind of just collected my favourite ones, put them in these little jars, and yeah, I might use them in the future. And these are like miscellaneous things I've collected from presents and everything. Okay, push that back in. And here, this bit looks quite messy, but it's quite organised. So this is the bigger version of these tote bags that are up there. This basically has scrap white paper. Most of that's shredded, but my shredder actually broke recently. And up here is like mixed colours. Just down here, I have some scissors for paper cutting. My mum got me this. Someone was selling them for like £3, so that's nice and handy for crafts. And then here I have this storage tin shelving kind. It's from IKEA. It's so useful. So at the bottom I've got some sewing stuff. I've got this for embroidery, and then this box which I've had for years from this friend. I've got my crochet hooks, bobbins, measuring tapes, all sorts. Got some needles there. That's for making pom-poms. I've never actually used that. And then above it, I've got all my threads. These threads I've had either for years, or many of these, like these ones, I got from this second-hand shop nearby. They don't know what it is, so they just sold it to me for like 10p each. But some of these are really nice. Yeah. And then hangers are in colour order. And then I've got some embroidery threads. Again, I got them from a car boot sale, this massive box for £4. And these are clear ones. This one my mum got from someone. It's actually for fishing, but I used to use it for crafts, but these are small. Next one up, I've got stamps here. These two I recently purchased from a charity shop that was like specialising in craft, which is such a good find. And then in here, these are some stamps I got, and if I can open this with my hand, alphabetical stamps that I also got from a charity shop, I think for £1, which is a good rate find. And in here as well, there's some ink that I got from a charity shop as well, 30p. People give away the weirdest things. And then I've got this little stamp making thing where you can personalise your own stamp. I use that for little business cards. And then some more stamps. And then here I've got a hot glue gun. I'm actually just using these up and then probably going to sell that because it's not very environmentally friendly. Just above that is my tech drawer. So up here I have a square which I use when I'm selling. So I just got this because I was selling some products at my university's Christmas market. And then I've got this which I bought second-hand off of someone that lived near me. It's for digital art. I'm still getting a grip of it, I'm not very good, but useful. And this is a little stand and just a memory card. Love it. Got bulky stuff, so here are my watercolours. I think I got these from Lidl, they're nothing special, but I absolutely love using these and I use these all the time. And I've got loads of paint brushes. Way too many paint brushes. People just either seem to give them to me. Paint brushes that came with the packet, and these are the ones I've just collected over time. And I just keep them in. Some of them are makeup brushes, but I don't really use them for makeup. I use them just for like smaller details and things like that. So I keep those in there. I also have my beloved Prismacolor pencils. I absolutely love these, and these cheap pastels that I got online ages ago, and I don't really use them because they don't turn out that well, but and here are some of my essentials. So I've got lots of scissors. These they're basically at the end of their life, but I'm just trying to scoop out the rest just so I can use them up. In here I've got a bookmark and a reading light, my calculator, just all my essentials. And then above here I keep a little tray, and it's just like useful things. So here are some scrap papers that are a bit bigger, and I can use them to cut out or stamp out any nice designs. These are usually in the other room, but because I'm not working on a project right now, I'm keeping them here. Here's some old receipts for making paper. These ones I don't need. And then in these jars I've got pins, paper clips, assorted buttons, my knitting needles, although I'm not very good at knitting. I'm more crochet person, but hopefully in the future I'll get a hang of these. These, I swear I think I got all of these for like £2 from that second-hand shop that I mentioned before. Got some wooden pegs, safety pins and normal pins, just if I find them lying around. And then if we move over, this is my desk. I don't have a chair here right now because I use the chair from the kitchen, just because it was cheaper and I'm going to be moving next year anyway, so there wasn't any point. I've got two mats. This one I usually take if I'm going to be doing some work on my bed, just have a nice surface. This is my family's camera that I'm currently using. I'm going to be using it on a holiday that I'm going on. And here I've just got lots of little scrap things. I don't know what to do with them yet, but I will think of something. These are like threads from sewing when I've cut them off, and I might be using them in making paper. I just don't want to make any waste. Part of this channel is to prevent waste. Then I've got pencils in this mug. This was my favourite mug and it broke, but I fixed it with milk. Now, if anyone's interested, I can do a video about that, but it's a miracle. I looked loads of places for any glues that are like food safe. Could not find anything. I emailed like Gorilla Glue and they were like, you can't be sure and the heat from tea might dissolve it. And then I found this video about someone boiling their broken crockery in milk for hours. I did it and it's like, and it's stuck, like this bit came off before, but it's literally healed and it's a miracle, but I'm too scared to use it, so I just keep my pencils in there. In here I've got my pens that go on ink. This is such a great way to be zero waste. I've got loads of pens and pencils here, but obviously I can't use all of these up straight away because they're not all like everyday use. So over time, like I've got no blue biros, like dark blue. Obviously there's this light blue one. So this one is blue, this one's black, and basically I have a, is it cartridge in here that's reusable, and it sucks up the ink that I had in my drawer over there. So that's a really great way to prevent plastics from in your stationery basically. And then here I've got my pens and pencils. I've accumulated these over many years. Yeah, I like just having it all out. That's some textbooks. I'm a zoology student, so those are some textbooks I bought at the start of the year. Don't actually use many of them. And here's some scrap paper. So the way I do my paper is, if there's like a blank page that I can write on, some scribbles, it goes in here and then I use it. And then if it doesn't, or I've done that and used it up, it goes into here to be shredded so I can make it into new paper, hopefully. And in these little pots I've got some important receipts that I need to keep. In here I've got some rubbers and sharpeners. And in here I've got post-it notes. Now, I absolutely love post-it notes, but trying to go zero waste and not waste them is so hard because there's so many. And here I've just got like essential textbooks and documents that are very important. Here I usually keep my calendar, like my weekly one, but it's in the other room right now. And I bought this ring light. It's for makeup, but I use it as a desk and for making videos, and it's so useful. And in here I have some crappy makeup for when I am videoing. My face is in it for my university. Back here I've just got some boxes that I use when I'm moving. And in front of the window I've put polystyrene because it's a student flat and there's always mold, and I had some polystyrene from this package that I bought without checking the packaging, and there's loads of polystyrene that came with it. So instead of binning it, I've placed it under the window so to prevent like it getting cold somehow, but it is actually, there's less mold growing. Okay, and then under the desk I've got my little bin, and here I've got some things that I don't know how to reuse, like these wooden sticks. They've gotten a bit soggy, and some plastic that I have that I can't use. I do send my plastics to a TerraCycle bin, so they're not fully wasted. At the top I have some folders, most of these are empty. Then I have some books. These I recently got for Christmas for crochet, and the others are reading books that are just some of my favourites that I brought along to read. And then here I've got my sewing machine. It's just there, there's the pedal. And here I've got some colouring books. I absolutely love colouring books. I've got so many though. Well, I say so many, these are all of them, but they take so long to fill up. And there's just some notebooks that are nicer and I want to use up. Any other shitty notebooks that I've had, they're not being used, so I took out the pages and using the scrap paper instead. And here is something else that my boyfriend's family donated for me that they weren't using. It's just loads of cards and envelopes, so I'm going to be using these and hopefully selling them on my Etsy. Here is some notes for my university. I've got some recipes in here, and in this one I have empty folders for these bigger folders. And then in here I've just recently organised it. I've got these paper dividers. They're all ripped because they're very old, and I've got some graph paper in here, squared paper, lined paper and plain paper. And then similarly with my coloured papers, if they're not thin, they're put in here. So if there's big chunks or they're still like A4 and they're not tiny enough to put in there, they are here. So they're all organised in these separate plastic dividers, which I bought years ago, but I'm just making the most of reusing them. And they're all divided up into colours of the rainbow. And then in here I've got miscellaneous posters that I've accumulated over the years. There's a lot of maps. For some reason my dad gave them to me, and then small diaries that entries that require typing up, and then they're going to get shredded up just because they take up a lot of space. And then lastly in here I've just got plastic bags. So sometimes if I'm selling something and someone comes and picks it up, I usually just give it to them in a plastic bag. This is lots of tiny pieces of cardboard. I know this is messy, but it will come in handy. That's just a spare box. In here, I've got lots of flat out cardboard. It seems messy, but it's an organised mess. It's like all flattened out for any projects, like making little tags for gift cards and things like that. All really handy. And then behind here I've got wallpapers. Now these two I got recently, I think for £1 for both of these from this charity shop, and it's so good because it's really thick, so it's good at wrapping presents or used to make card. It's such a good thing because like nobody's using it and you can get some really nice designs. This one I got years ago, and this is some brown paper I've had for ages. And this I think my mum gave to me. It's one of those things that to cover up surfaces, and I was going to stick this on this old desk that we have next door, but we like the retro look, so we're just keeping that there. And then in this box I've got lots of empty jars in here that need using. Got lots of these tiny little ones as well from these cards from ages ago. These ones, when I'm during a project, I keep little stamps here, so those little scrap pieces of paper will be used to make stamps like these. So I'm keeping these in here to be out the way whilst I'm not on a project. And some empty herb jars for when in the future I might be making my own herbs. And in here is more like cardboard, toilet rolls, just because these will be really handy for a future project I have in mind, and any empty pots that I think would be useful for storage, etc. So into here is just the radiator and some anime drawings that I did years ago, like 2016. Oh my god, that's 4 years ago, how mental. And this bear drawing I did last year. I had this idea of doing little cards with a drawing of an animal and its Latin name, because I'm a zoology student, I love animals, and I thought that was really cute. I only got around to doing one, but maybe in the future that would be a good idea. And yeah, above this I've got lots. I used to have this poster with all of these, but I didn't like the layout of it, so I just cut them out individually and stuck them up right here. I've got loads of postcards up here and some maps. I did have the little whiteboard, but it got in the way and I don't really use it much, so it's just stuck there. And here I'm planning on sticking business cards from vegan or zero waste companies that I like. So that's already been started here. And then I've got my monthly planner. Not much written on it. Yeah, this was one just my mum got for me from Waitrose, I think. It's so random, but yeah. And other than that, that is all for this room. Don't mind the mess out there, that's stuff I haven't organised yet, but I hoped you liked it. If you have any questions, feel free to ask down below, but that is all from me today. Bye!